Good evening, everyone. I look like I've got a halo on the top of my head, so that will change. Sean saying, why are we waiting? Because they kicked off early. That's why. We were actually on time for a change. However, we are here. We are good. Welcome to everyone who is joining us for this top of Group A clash. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change my seat because my dog's stolen it, if you can see this ginger thing right next to me.
Go on, Storm.
Yeah, he runs the house, doesn't he? So right, let me just change position. Bear with. But yeah, Paul, how are you?
I am ticking along. Looking forward to the Switters versus the Finners, as Danny would refer to them.
As Danny would call them. Danny, if you don't know, has made up nicknames for all teams, and it just sounds really fun to be in Danny's world. So there we go.
Especially as he gets to watch his team play at the Fernabau as well, which is the coolest team nickname.
Yes, the Fernabau, which is incredible. So we are both watching Finland versus Switzerland, because Norway, Iceland, well, everyone can probably guess our thoughts on that one. However, we will be keeping you up to date. Of course, I do have it on my phone. So we'll be keeping you up to date with both. As the group stands, of course, should we just have a little look? According to UEFA, this match isn't live yet. That's fun, isn't it?
It's Jammy Norway atop, and the team that gets the better result in this one goes through, isn't it? Basically.
Yes, I'm just going to share my screen so everyone can see it. So let's have a look. Share screen. Real hard on that. Okay, so it currently looks like this. Okay, so Jammy Norway, as we've come to know and love them, will probably be going through. So as it stands at the moment, they're on 7 points, comfortably going through, as they manage to win.
I don't think because Norway have won both their games, I don't think they can not go through because they'll win the head-to-head against either team.
Yes, so this was the thing, isn't it? So a lot of people, because we went through Article 30.5678910 last night, there seems to be a lot of rules associated with it. So we're just going to go with who's won the most and who can actually have a chance of going through. So as we said, Norway, unless something mad happens, which I don't think I can see happening, Norway are going through. It is then between Switzerland and Finland who is going to take that second spot, because Iceland, unfortunately, have lost both their games, so they cannot progress no matter what. So it is between Switzerland and Finland, because as we can see, at the moment, this is live on UEFA, they are both on 4 points because it's still all 0-0. So as Sean rightly says, the team who scores the most goals wins, because it does go on to goal difference, and then it'll go on to head-to-heads and everything we spoke about last night. So that is the current state of play in Group A. Hence why we're watching Finland-Switzerland to see.
That's the only game that has anything really riding on it, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So there we go. And there will be the updates for us. I am, if we all want to do a check-in for the time, I'm on 5:30. Just gone 5:30.
I am 4 seconds ahead-ish.
Oh, you can tell me what's happening from the future. Wonderful.
But I will mute in and out because I am eating a very, very nice dinner indeed.
Of course, yes.
So.
Well, it gives us all a chance to chat as well. So no worries here. David's a bit behind, 5:36. Graham's a bit behind as well. Well.
Graham's still watching Switzerland in Euro 2022. He thinks they're playing in Brighton. And Nancy is just informing everybody of her existence because that's what Nancy does.
It's okay. Torvi was coughing for attention behind me, so it's fine. Now, in the other game, then between Norway and Iceland, it still is 0-0. And so far, there's only been a couple of updates. So, again, if there is something to to let you know, we will. But as we said, it's everything to play for in this game here, Finland, Switzerland.
We have a new Danny in the chat as well, unless our Danny supports Leeds.
We have a Danny Talks Leeds in the chat. Good evening to you. Lovely to see you. Yeah, at the break, we've got another another little something to talk about. Some more transfer news coming out today. Lots of transfer news, actually.
Can I just say, it's a little bit tragic that we've got this whole thing where Chelsea were the first $1 million player, so Arsenal are like, we'll spend £1 million on a fifth choice winger.
I don't understand why. I genuinely don't. I mean, as Arsenal fans, again, Ryan, you can let us know, but you've brought Taylor Hines in, you bring in Liv Smith in, obviously great players where they were, but are they actually going to get a chance to shine at Arsenal? That is my only worry with that. Because then it begs the question of, is it worth, I know, Toby, is it worth the move for a bigger club to sit on a bench? Or would you rather, in the prime of your career, be in the starting lineup week in, week out?
The thing that makes me laugh the most about that is Arsenal fans will go, world record fee, and anyone not from Arsenal will basically go, you couldn't convince any other player worth £1 million to come near you, so you're having to wildly overpay, probably, for Olivia Smith.
But also, of course, Naomi Girma was $1 million, wasn't she?
She was.
So this is actually in pounds. So there's that. I can't even think.
It's all a bit, ironically for women's football, it's all a bit of member swinging, isn't it? It's Arsenal trying to show who has the biggest wallet.
Who can pull the strings? Who's got the money? Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got clubs who need to convince the higher ups to give them more money. Because can you imagine Villa spending $1 million on anyone? Be lucky if they've got a couple of grand to go.
Iceland lead Norway.
Oh, do they actually?
Look
at us,
Chris, keep an eye on the chat. Iceland lead Norway.
Yes, Vendisjons.here. We did say to keep an eye out for her.
I love how we've had both mascots in the picture at the same time now. Nancy hops up just as Toby appears. So
there we go. Ooh, hello. Yeah, it's nearly bedtime, isn't it? You should have probably gone up by now, but the pod, he wanted to come on. Yes, so Svendisjons.here, left-footed shot from very close range into the bottom right corner, following a corner. So it just shows you those set pieces are working for Iceland. There we go.
Apparently, you can't actually possibly watch Iceland versus Norway because Kerry is working the remote control like a champ just off screen. For me.
Just working it like a champ. I love it.
And apparently, we can watch Clubland for Life Naughty's tunage.
Oh, right.
You can't watch Iceland versus Norway because unless it's on like BBC Three, which it isn't, because they've probably got.
Is it a red button jobby?
Well, it might be a red button jobby. But if it is a red button jobby, then it's probably not being pressed that often. Put it that way.
So I've just clicked on watch and listen, and it says Finland versus Switzerland. You can watch it, or you can listen to it. There's no actual option. Oh, that's a bit bad, isn't it?
I mean, maybe they kind of thought that this would be not worth watching, and the other one will be worth watching like us because they put Jonathan Pearce and Gilly Flaherty on commentary as well, which is
No.
What did I say?
a choice. So we will see. I do like the way these two teams are just kind of feeding each other out at the moment. There's lots of...
Oh, can confirm, anyone who is watching with access to iPlayer, it is on the red button. So there we go. So it is on the big red button if you wanted to. I think they should have done a split screen like YouTube do. That would have been much better.
Or they could have done, you know how Match of the Day on the last day of the season doesn't do individual game highlights. If there's a relegation battle or a championship battle, it'll do a montage back and forth. So it'll be like...
go between.
And just show the highlights, and it'll be like first 5 minutes in, I don't know, Burnley versus whoever in the relegation battle, and then it'll go, meanwhile, at the Stadium of Light, and it'll have Sunderland smashing 5 past Manchester City on the last day of the season to stay up or whatever.
Oh, no, that's the dream, isn't it? That's the dream indeed. Now, as there's a bit of a lull in the game, Ryan's just said there, it's preparing for life without the likes of Beth Mead, Caitlin Ford. So getting in, Smith in now, so she's integrated and is able to step up for when her time's ready. Because
that's what they told Rosa Kafaji.
Well, yes, Ryan, what do you think about Kafaji? Is she going to stay? Is she going to go? Because it was a bit like when Lena Herzig disappeared for a little bit. It was like, there's no communication, we don't know. Oh, that would have been a beautiful flick by Formley if that had gone in. Lovely little back heel flick to chip it in.
We do love a black heel. We do love a pun. Sorry, that was...
Sorry?
We do love a back heel flick.
We do, and our Chloe Bear as well sent me a picture earlier to say that she had a little shop on Art of Football, and she got the Russo IKEA instructions, that T-shirt, if you remember when that came out.
I've heard that apparently you can make a whole career out of one back heel flick.
I wonder who.
There are rumours. I don't think we could ever accuse anybody of doing it, but apparently you can live off a back heel flick for your whole career.
Hey, but we can say that player in question, just so no one's, is now the top assister in the tournament. So there we go.
Indeed, and was worthy of her player of the game performance against the Netherlands.
Yes, we'd just like to say that. So it was nothing to do with who scored the most goals, because you're right, it does usually go to the goal scorer. But the fact that someone could set up and play a big part in 3 of the 4 is definitely someone worthy of that. Hello.
And that's good work, David, by the way. Yes, it was indeed Trevor Francis, first £1 million male player.
Oh, well done, David. Yep.
So
City to Forest.
Only 46 years between the first £1 million male player and the first £1 million female player.
It shows the gap, doesn't it? In those terms, we're finally getting the first £1 million women's player, almost 50 years behind the men's, which makes sense with how long women's football was banned. So there we go.
The thing that does worry me is now we have that, what we saw with men's football.
Oh, from Chris, Norway 1-1. There we
Tasty.
go.
We've picked the wrong game here, haven't we?
I know, yeah.
If we flick over, by the time we turn back, it'll be Finland 7, Sweden, Switzerland 6.
Well, I tell you what, you keep on this one. I'll swap over.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case something good happens. And it was Signe Gobset who got the goal. Completely butchered that name, I do apologise. Right-footed shot from the centre of the box following a corner. There we go.
The issue with Rosa Kafaji is apparently her refusal to defend in training. Well, that's weird because she defended in training for Håkon.
Oh. So then it's a case of, who do we listen to? Who has the truth?
Of course, we can obviously fully trust Arsenal official sources and press releases because they would never claim something was happening when it wasn't, or vice versa.
Oh, I wonder what you're referring to.
They are absolutely open with everything that goes on within the club. Evening, Ryan.
Yeah. 15 minutes in. There we go. 15 minutes in. Apparently, Righty has said that. So Claudian's podcast, maybe he was talking about it. Graham. We want
I suspect he's being fed, and I suspect that an amazing advocate for women's football that he is.
Yes.
I would suspect Ian Wright's connections with Arsenal may mean that he is likely to present a certain narrative. And it will be and with the women's team at least, it will be one that favours the club.
I'd still like to think his morals would come into play, though. That he'd only say a thing, or he just wouldn't say anything. If there was
he's as far as I know, he's notably not said anything about the other situation with Arsenal, but you can't really blame him for that because of all the.
No, it's one of those. Legally, you just can't stay away from. So we'll put a pin in that. We'll leave that where it is. It's now out and sorted.
But I don't know, because if really are we. I still say that because are we really arguing that Rosa Kafaji for a whole season is not defending in training, and that's the reason that she's not being picked? One of the best young players in Europe who is consistently playing for her country isn't being picked for Arsenal because she doesn't want to defend in training, but she'll defend in training for Sweden.
It's just a very strange situation which we know nothing about, isn't it? So yeah, we can only go off what Chinese whispers be here, and it's just a very, very, very strange situation.
But it's a strange situation as well because they don't need Olivia Smith.
No,
they don't need another winger. If any club in the WSL is well set for wingers and should have their depth at that position respected, it's Arsenal.
But if they're doing what Ryan said, they're building for the future, maybe now was the time to swoop in to make sure no one else got her and tied her down to a longer contract. So you just,
I just, in classic Messi drama fashion.
Yes.
Especially after Chloe Kelly has signed this summer. And she and Olivia Smith play in the same position. You now have the situation of Lioness's tax and incredibly popular player who the fans probably all want to see playing because, Chloe Kelly, against a player who the club and possibly the coaching staff will be saying, why have we spent £1 million, a world record fee on this player to sit on the bench?
Well, the thing is, for that money, they're going to have to start her, aren't they? Or at least bring her on for enough minutes to justify it to the higher ups.
You don't pay £1 million for a player to play them in the Conti Cup, do you?
Exactly. I can't see her sitting on the bench because why would you if you've got a player like that? So yeah, again, as Ryan said, breath of fresh air into the team. Maybe she's something that they need.
I'd very much question Liverpool's ambition, given that only a few months ago, when there were rumours of Chelsea and Arsenal and the usual suspects sniffing around Olivia Smith, it was revealed and made public by Liverpool that they wouldn't sell her at any price. It would need to be a obscene world record level fee.
Which, unless they have said, oh yeah, we'll sell it to you for $1 million, thinking they're never going to do that, then Arsenal have gone, you're all right. And they put the money where their mouth is, and then they've been stuck. So,
but that still doesn't stop Liverpool going, actually, nah. Because
it doesn't.
And I don't think it would happen in the men's game, because in the men's game, again with Arsenal, you've got the current situation with Victor Gyökeres, who is very popular around these parts, of course, former Coventry City player, who the gap there as Finland come very, very close from a corner. And it's still not cleared away. Now it is. As Victor Gyökeres at Sporting Lisbon, basically the gap is now £4 million, and Arsenal are going, well, we're not going to pay that extra £4 million, and Sporting Lisbon are going, right then, we'll sell them to Man United instead because they will.
Yeah, it's just a game, isn't it? If you've got the money, you can play. However, you would hope, because Liverpool, I don't know if you've got Liverpool fans in the chat. If you are, please let us know. But yeah, I'm a bit worried about Liverpool at the minute, the way their squad's looking. But you'd hope that they're going to use that million to really reinvest and put it towards another good couple of players that you can get for that amount of money.
I would, if I was Liverpool negotiation, I'd go, okay, you want Olivia Smith, and you're prepared to pay £1 million. Still not enough. How much you want her? You're not playing Rosa Kafaji. £1 million plus Rosa Kafaji.
There you go. Yeah. Now that would have been a good bit of business. Yes, absolutely. Graham saying we need Emily here. Yes, we do need Emily here. Absolutely. Well, David, there you go. Challenge for next season. Get yourself down watching Liverpool women. And you can be our Liverpool correspondent. There we go. Get yourself down to the Totally Wicked Stadium. Yeah. Typically, as I've turned over to the Norway-Iceland match, nothing's really happening.
Maybe those are the only 2 goals.
Yeah. I'll watch the rest of the half, and then I'll flick back over to
just give it 20 minutes and see if anything happens.
The sign of a good football match. Give it 20 minutes. See what's going on.
Finland are having slightly the better of Switzerland at the moment.
Which is what we predicted, wasn't it? Because we said it's probably going to be Norway and Finland that do get through. But then, of course, Switzerland started to show up and do things.
I wish I could claim I said that, but I was. I said Iceland. So. I'm very good at being wrong so far this tournament, aren't I? Because when I was sat there. Oh, we're going to struggle against the Netherlands. Bang.
Oh, and the shots good. Oh. Runasdottir was just able to keep that in, even though she spilled the first attempt from our Liz Turland. Her shot took a deflection, and then Runasdottir spilled it, which was able to collect. So all good on the Icelandic front. As Brynjarsdottir, I think, is mounting the attack. No, I take it back. There's too many blondes in the Icelandic team.
Speaking of Arsenal, no, that was. I am wondering if we're going to get 2 draws in this third round of group games because Switzerland don't need to win. They can hold out here. Finland are the ones who have to come forward a little bit more.
Yes. Yeah. So Finland. So there's only 1 goal in it. So goal difference, Switzerland is 1, Finland 0, which might be their scoreline at the end of the day. But yeah, so because they're both on 4 points, Finland needs to win to go through. So yeah, Switzerland can just, as you said, quite happily play for the draw, or of course win. That would be the ultimate one.
My worry for Switzerland for a few moments there. Imran Benet took one full in the face. She is back up and fine now, though, but it was your classic slow motion ball full on the bridge of the nose.
Speaking of injuries, I wonder how Lauren James's shiner is today, because that looked like it was gonna really come up today. So hopefully she's okay. LJ, if you're watching, we do hope you're okay.
Friend of the podcast. Speaking of Liverpool,
Thanks.
we just had a shot of former Liverpool fullback Emma Corey-Visto,
Whoop.
who'd gone down injured for Finland, but has picked herself up.
Good.
And then we have the nightclub owner on the sidelines, the Finnish manager, Marco Salaranta.
Oh, if that had gone in by... I know, yes, you want attention. Lynn Hudson-Mornham, that would have been a lovely, lovely little strike if that had indeed gone in. With a right foot, but fortunately hit the side netting.
She's signed a new contract at Arsenal recently, hasn't she, Lynn
She
Hudson-Mornham?
has, yes.
Because I'm only checking because, we're getting more and more the scourges. Oh, Dennis Seepnik upset.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Hang on. And takes it with a left foot. Yes, that was a lovely strike. Well done. Actually, oi, that dinosaur's not yours. Welcome to the football podcast, where, yes, I did just say, hey, that dinosaur is not yours. So there we go. Hey, go upset.
No,
Makes
in
it
classic
2-1.
professional fashion, I'm talking with my mouth full.
And just as a little aside, Gobset was the player to watch that Danny called out for his players. So there we go.
There we go. That was a quick. I apologise, by the way, if my eating is distracting. Then I'll mute. But I'm trying not to leave you in complete silence.
That's fine. I don't mind talking to myself, don't I?
Probably
We'll get
probably
tons
make
of
more
them.
sense than me talking, won't you? To be fair.
Toby's laughing.
So, Toby, what are your thinkings about the knockout games?
What do you think? She's looking at you.
I love the way she looks like she's genuinely considering it. And there we go.
Yeah, I'd agree. Well done.
That's a brave prediction, though, about Italy and Spain.
They're going to win, aren't they? Can you imagine if Italy won the tournament? That would be incredible.
Well, that surprised me because in the first game they kind of played, obviously, and at the end of the, I can't remember whether it was on BBC or ATV, but at the end of the game, obviously Italy won, and at the end of some many people's dark horses for the tournament, Italy. I'm like, sorry.
It's like no one's mentioned Italy apart from me. Like, what's going on? And even then, it was semi-final at best.
Also, David, I shall gently correct you. My accent's probably not perfect. It's Tovi.
Yeah, V, the Norse. V. Yeah, so Toby, but with a V. So Tovi.
As in famous Norwegian pop star Toby Lowe, of course.
Exactly. Dun, dun, dun.
Hark at me pretending to know more about pop culture.
Hey, you're doing a good job of it. And in fact, what I'm going to do, because I've just remembered, I'm going to send Sam all of the players, and then he can turn them into PDFs for us, and we can start getting them through our watch-alongs and getting them shared before the groups are over.
Indeed, Toby, David, it is a Norse. As you're just going to have people call her Ray, aren't you? And use a middle name.
No,
I can't understand Toby. It's just like
we fought for months over a name.
we have decided, by the way, everybody, that in about 20 years' time, Toby Ray and my niece Rosie are going to be playing on opposite wings for the Lionesses.
Yes.
At the next tournament. And
imagine that. That would be incredible.
Creating a strike force for the ages.
Say night-night. Say bye-bye.
With a 41-year-old Leslie Russo between them because Serena Wiegman will still be picking her.
Bye-bye. And a 90-year-old Lucy Bronze will still be in the starting lineup.
60-year-old Lucy Bronze in the starting lineup. Aggie Beaver-Jones still waiting to make her full England debut after sitting on the bench for 20-odd years.
Oh.
She'll have every WSL scoring record, but still not have started for England. I'm just going to say as well, I really enjoy the referee of Finland versus Switzerland because she's got the most amazing angry mum face. Like, because just now Una Siren went in with a
I'm not
very
angry. I'm just disappointed.
with a flying challenge on Nadine Wiesen down the left side,
Yeah.
and the camera panned to the referee kind of walking over to have a word, and she just had a full on, like literally carrying the whistle and just walking over like it's like
So, do we need a word? Do we need to do it?
Una Maya Siren, I've told you about this. Full middle naming her and everything.
Just even better if they made up nicknames for them and made them more extravagant. So, Una Clementine Siren, come here.
Indeed. Una Penelope Tristania Siren, come here. Told you about this.
Oh, that just reminds us. There's a ridiculous meme that for some reason, is the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's a picture of a bike, and it's got an angry shout saying "Bicycle," and it was like, "Uh-oh, I'm in trouble." And it's just so silly. It gets me.
Why did I laugh at that?
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
As the Swiss come, I want to say Voitila came close, but it was one of those where she finds a bit of space, and the shot for about half a second looks like it might be curling, and then it starts to curl the other way, and ends up going about 15 feet wide. And you're like, oh well, that was interesting for about 3.5 seconds. Actually, it wasn't that far away. If you managed to keep it, if it hadn't had a bit of late
another
spring.
shot off target, Finland.
Finland-Sweden referee update. Angriest yellow card shown ever. Geraldine Voitila, like Voitila kind of walked towards her with her hands up, and it was a full on.
You will take this yellow.
I told you I will turn this car around. And it's a well-earned yellow as well.
You know what? I'm going to turn back over.
You know it's a well-earned yellow when the tackle goes in and the player receiving the tackle is full on, arched back, screaming at the sky.
Not good.
Feeling that one. She is back up though, and she is fine.
So. Yeah, I've just seen a replay of it as I've turned over, and she goes in and doesn't get any of the ball. Voitila. But that's what we want to see.
Find your Voitila, behave yourself. We're just making up middle names of all of them now.
That's what we need to do. We really do.
Another running joke on Absolute Football Podcast: making up middle names for players and talking to them like we're their mum and dad,
or their best mate, like Ahmed. Eintracht Frankfurt. Villa could totally put in an offer for her. I think she'd settle quite nicely. Apparently, though, the commentator has just said, and to people listening on full volume would be able to confirm it, they've just referred to Noelle Moritz. Hang on. I may have just read that wrong. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Noelle Moritz from Aston Villa, previously of Arsenal. Just say she's a Villa player. She's been there for ages now. Because before, and again, if you watch us during the season, I really hope you do, we talk about this a lot, but commentators, if teams aren't from the top 4 teams, they get a bit, they don't really know who the players are. So you will usually find Anna Patton, ex-Arsenal defender, Noelle Moritz, ex-Arsenal.
Do they still do that with Anna Patton? Even though she was Arsenal youth?
Yeah, they do. She's been, 3 seasons now at Villa? And it's still ex-Arsenal, Anna Patton. It's like, current Villa player.
Very much ex-Arsenal.
Irish international, you don't say that.
Anna Patton, Irish international, Villa captain, World Cup winner, also ex-Arsenal youth player.
They've just got to get it in, haven't they? They've got to get in. It's as if they, it gives them extra value. Like, oh, well, she was at Arsenal, you know. And it's like, Villa can have good players. You know, they don't.
There was also mild confusion from Jonathan Pearce just now,
Oh, okay.
because there was a banner in the crowd which was presumably referring to female commentators as well or whatever, that just said the mic is hers. And
Okay.
Jonathan Pearce was mid and just kind of trailed off as if he didn't quite know what to say. Like,
oh, yes, I've just seen it. There we go. There we go. And he's like, oh, well, I'm not a her, but I shall continue speaking into my mic. There we go. Yeah, Graham. Russo, ex-Charlton Academy.
Switzerland are now starting to ease into the game a little more the past few minutes.
Oh, I've got the subtitles on. How can I manage that? No. The only thing about subtitles on iPlayer is that they come up like a minute later than the actual.
Yeah. Watching football with commentary subtitles on is interesting.
It's not the one. It's not the one. Oh, no. Wrong button.
Of course, Finland quite want to be in the quarterfinals.
They want to be in
that's a place they quite want to be. That was a deep cut. If anyone's watched Monty Python, there you go. There'll be a few more of those. At half time, Finnish players spend it by eating breakfast or dinner or snack lunch in the hall. And then they go on holiday, pony trekking or camping.
Well, they've got to keep straight.
I can commentate on this. Imagine if they did, and it was just like, right, we'll see how many references to the Monty Python song about Finland we can get into commentary. Just like,
oh, that was a good ball. Yep, managed to keep it in. Well done. Well done, as if I'm there and I know.
Finland not traditionally able to attract foreign players to the Finnish league. They have a poor second to Belgium when going abroad. I'm just throwing all of these in as much as possible now.
The hilarious thing is, if people don't know what you're talking about, they're going to be like, what is he on about? Why is he saying this?
Why is he just dropping all these random bits?
Yeah. What does he mean?
It's because I'm actually a lumberjack and I'm okay. There you
go. You're not the Messiah. No.
You're just a
naughty boy.
I'm actually, and this initially I thought this was taking the mickey, but it's not. I've kind of embraced it because obviously I wear eyeliner and stuff. Yeah. And some of the people I play ice hockey with are very manly blokes, and so they decided to make jokes calling me Loretta. And I was like, "You what?" And then it was like, "Have you seen The Life of Brian?" And I have. It's like, I want to be known as Loretta from now on. And they in the 70s, and there's a whole routine, very much ahead of its time.
Yes, I remember now. I've just had to quickly Google it. Yes, yeah. I'm with you.
But I can't remember the whole thing, and I don't want to get it wrong and accidentally be offensive. But
you never do that.
Because as Kerry knows, I never do that.
Oh, Kerry, we do love you. It's Finland are managing to
calm things down.
A good spell of possession here, yeah. Trying to stop that Swiss attack. I was listening to, might have been the commentary from last night when I rewound it and had another listen. They said after the Swiss home fans, which obviously you'd expect to have the biggest delegation, it's the Welsh. The Welsh brought the most fans in this group stage.
Have we mentioned the Welsh are also the gayest team at Euro 2025? Yes, they have the most openly LGBT players in their squad.
They do. They do indeed. I was going to say England have a few, just not confirmed.
Kerry has decided that in order to measure that, you have a rainbow striped ruler.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So
Like the Mary Poppins magic one that measures your height and says she's practically perfect in every way. It just tells you how gay you are as it goes up. Who is keeping those stats? The gay stats, Jackie. Is that what you're on about? So this was Pink News, I believe, who said that.
it was,
And
and
they
it's probably fairly easy. You just basically look at all the squads and go, are they openly LGBT?
yeah, look at their Instagrams, look at if they've officially announced it, and yeah, that's it. So that's how they've done it. There's no gay register or anything like that. Don't worry.
That would be a very different.
That would be a very different type
That'd
of
be a very dark period in history,
data, wouldn't it? Oh,
Um,
now.
Yeah, I was just about to say nothing has come from that. There wasn't even
Nothing
any.
came from it.
No,
Ooh.
it's just a Finland corner,
Recent, very lucky for that one.
and I don't. From
Oh,
what I
I
can
see.
tell, there wasn't even any VAR check on it.
Oh, she does get the ball. It's an awkward one, and it looks worse than it is, but it is awkward. I did like how Graham said earlier, the more he looks at Ryson after we mentioned that she looks like Russo, that
The more he sees Russo.
the more he sees it. So yeah, welcome everyone. If you haven't joined us so far yet, we do think that Switzerland's Ryson looks like our Russo. If you squint, kind of looks like Russo.
So now we want Nadine Reeson to sign for Arsenal because that would be very funny.
Yeah. Well, that would be commentator's hell, wouldn't it? If that...
Yeah, an instant. I remember when I was commentating on Coventry United, I used to confuse Liv Ferguson and Charlie Escort, and it was only because they're both very similar and they have similar figures and blonde ponytails and about the same height.
Yeah.
And it was only 4 or 5 games into the season that Welsh international Charlie Escort, Clang, eventually gently, I was up at the training ground interviewing them, and Charlie gently said, "Paul, can I ask you a slightly embarrassing question?" And I kind of went, "Okay." Like, you do know the difference between me and Liv, don't you? And I'm kind of sat there going, "Oh, this is awkward." I'm like, yeah, most of the time, if I can see your numbers around a few seconds. She's like, "Well, the foolproof way to tell between us, which I'd never noticed, is she just goes, I wear blue boots, and Liv wears red boots, and we'll make sure we wear them for the rest of the season." And I'm just sat there like, I've just had an international footballer gently take the mickey out of me.
Because that's fantastic though, and that's that humour that a lot of female players have. Because can you imagine if you got two of the male players get mixed up? They might have had like an ego about that, mightn't they? But
Yeah.
the fact that she was like, "Look, just look for the blue boots." That one.
I'll make sure we wear blue from now on.
Yeah.
It's like, and also, there was just a fantastic facial reaction, by the way, because Finland came very close, and Olivia Peng
Yes.
with a fantastic save.
Good.
And if you get like the reverse angle replay, which shows the bit where Peng lets go of it just for a second and then gathers it again. If you look in the background, I'm not sure which Swiss player it is, but there's a Swiss player who gives it the full like this, like full on dramatic, panicked, followed by reaction.
I think that was recent,
Was it recent?
Was it the one that was like,
yeah, the full on, and then like that.
Yeah, that was recent. Oh, and
that
speaking
again
of,
is something else you don't get anywhere near as much in the men's game.
I just couldn't get our feet right.
We can safely assume, by the way, nothing has happened in Norway versus Iceland.
I will just check, but I don't think so. Have a look. Why have I got that in my head? Let's have a look.
Seen the go upset, by the way, is on for a hat trick.
Yes. Both assists by Vilde Borisa. There you go. In Norway. So, yes, still 2-1 half time in the other game this evening. And as it stands, we are still going to see Norway and Switzerland go through to the quarter finals.
Of course, Vilde Borisa is something of a victim is probably the wrong word, but she suffered under Mark Skinner because she was unaccountably often.
Yes, one of the ones that did not get the most out of her time at United. Yeah, not the only one, of course. We've heard lots of player stories who felt like they were, let down by the club, and have now moved on to pastures new and bigger and better things for them.
Atletico Madrid now, Vilde Borisa. Very much
Yes,
missed
yeah.
by United players. Because it is now half time, talk amongst yourselves, everybody. I'm going to disappear for a few moments, but I will be back very, very shortly.
Okay. We'll miss you. Come back soon.
I know. I'm missing you already, folks.
Missing you indeed, Paolo. So while it's just us having a chat, so it is 0-0 Finland, Switzerland in our, well, what can we say? It feels bad to say important game of the evening, but the one that actually holds some weight. Now, what we're also going to do is talk through some transfers that happened today. And just to let you know as well, so all of these podcasts, you've probably seen it across socials, but they are in partnership with the Whole 115 Yards, which is my personal football channel. We've got a website, I write all the articles on there. We've got a transfer tracker for the WSL and the WSL2 as well. So any new contracts, any transfers in and out, go give it a little look so you're all caught up. Because today, let's have a look. London City Lionesses are doing a lot of really, really good business if you haven't seen already. So just from today, what we're going to do, I'll tell you exactly what happened. So London City, first of all, have signed Spanish international goalkeeper Elena Lete on a 2-year deal from Real Sociedad. She has been with the Spanish youth teams since, I think, under 15s, and has worked with through to the seniors and has made a couple of caps for the seniors as well. So really good signing there. Bristol City have re-signed Emily Syme and Sela Struck as well on a 1- and 2-year deal respectively. We've also had a lot of new contracts being signed as well. Graham just said, did I see a re-signing yesterday? Hey, yes. We had Karen Muya. I've got so many tweets. Just trying to go through them. Hang on. Yes. So let me just go through Wednesday then. So we had Newcastle announced Gemma Purfield. There's also a rumour that Jordan Nobbs is going to sign for Newcastle. Now, as someone who grew up in the Northeast near Sunderland, and Jordan Nobbs is a Sunderland lass, I can't support her going to Newcastle. She could go back to Sunderland. She could go to Durham. Just not Newcastle. Anyone but Newcastle. Even London City. Go there. But yes, so rumours are, according to TalkSport as well, so fairly reputable, that she will be signing for Newcastle. I hope it's not true. I really hope it's not true. Durham also announced that Beth Heppel and Becky Lasicki have both signed contract extensions, which is great for them. Sheffield United announced Leanne Cowan, Abby Lafayette and Ella Kinzette have all signed new contracts. Brighton confirmed that captain Vicky Losada is going to be leaving at the end of the season as well. Whether she'll go to a different club, keep playing, I hope she does. Or she's been doing a lot of punditry lately, so maybe could this be the time she retires? Not too sure. Durham making more moves because they signed goalkeeper Kat Shepherd. Now, if you aren't aware, she's just recently finished university in the US, and the last couple of years she's been in Portugal and has signed from Sporting Lisbon. So a really good quality club there. We also... Everton signed yet another yet another player to their squad. They signed Hikaru Kitigawa from Hacken. So again, really, really good player coming in there. And also Charlton, Graham, I think, is this what you're talking about? Gloria Cyber. Midfielder Gloria Cyber has signed a new 1-year deal with the club, which is a massive one. Good evening to Aled. Thanks for joining us. He's live, if people didn't know. He's over in Switzerland, over in Sion. And thank you for letting me know you found a bar to actually watch the match, Aled. Thank you very much. So that was Wednesday's transfer news, everyone. If we keep going back, I'll just do one more to cover what we might not have talked about. We've talked a little bit about Ellie Roebuck signing for Aston Villa, of course. Portsmouth have signed Lucy Johnson, defender from Blackburn. Birmingham City signed Lily Crosswaith from Durham. And also, we've seen a lot of youngsters sign their first professional contracts as well. And yes, so they're the other ones I was looking for. So mentioned Gloria Cyber, Karen Muir, and Alicia Endow as well, all re-signed on 1-year contracts, I believe. So again, fantastic for the club that they're keeping hold of their key players. And also, Charlie Devlin moved earlier, and I saw it as I was working. So bear with me, and I'll let you know where she's gone. I think it's Sheffield, but let me check. Let's have a look. Yes. So 4 hours ago, it was announced that Charlie Devlin has joined Sheffield United. And she's an attacking midfielder, if you didn't know. She left Birmingham City after being on loan with Rangers as well. So yeah, really good signing for Sheffield, who of course have a reprieve this season because of Blackburn Rovers and all of their troubles there. I did, Chris. Yes, I am talking quite fast, so maybe it got lost. But yes, they did sign Kitigawa from BK Hacken. So Everton, I know we're talking a lot about Liverpool losing a lot of players. Arsenal are putting in, £1 million bids. But really, Everton are doing some very, very good business in this window as well. At the end of last season, Brian Sorensen was saying how, the new owners, the new investors, they're actually are giving the women's team money. And we're really, really seeing that come through this window. Hey, that's what I was going to say. But just to show everyone, just to do a bit of a shameless little plug, this is what, if you go onto the website of the transfer tracker, instead of me listing off everything for you, I just want to show you what it looks like so you can see it for yourself. So it looks like this with a little transfer tracker. And it has Women's Super League transfers, or if you're just interested in the WSL2, you can just click here and you jump straight down there. So for every single club you've got, whether there's been new contract extensions signed and when to, if that's been available, transfers in and out, where the players have come from, where they're going to, and as soon as I get information, then I can actually add it to the list. So for every single club, and I'll just scroll back up a bit as well. So again, you've got all of your WSL clubs and your WSL2 clubs. Lots of adverts for Alibaba as well. Yes, but everything that happens transfer-wise will be on there. And on the 115 Yards Twitter as well. So there we go. It's just showing off my transfer tracker, Paul.
I was going to say, I enjoyed that one. I was enjoying watching it. There's currently, I was sat watching the half-time, and I would like to pay tribute to Ndoma Nua, who is really, really good as one of the pundits for the BBC. As often the situation when you have male pundits on female football that you get people going, oh, boy, they'll nut, blah, blah, blah. But he's really not quite Ian Wright level enthusiasm. He's a lot calmer, but he's very good at
Yeah, a lot more
Getting
quite
the
mellow. Yeah,
getting the informativeness in,
yeah.
and it's Rachel Corsie and Farrah Williams as well.
I
And
love Rachel Corsie doing punditry.
Rachel Corsie is her usual superbness. And they're now having a lovely interview with Jess Fishlot's dad. At least I
Oh,
believe it's her dad.
I think so. I
Um,
think I've seen him before. Yeah, I love how much Wales as a country have really embraced the team,
yeah.
and how much everyone just really wanted Wales to succeed.
Oh, bless him as well. Like you know, men are often not brilliant at showing emotion in other ways. You can see the pride coming out of Jess Fishlot's dad in that interview. Like
Yeah,
his voice was a bit wavery, and he was, doing that classic middle-aged, slightly older than middle-aged guy thing of, "I'm going to keep talking. I'm not going to acknowledge it." And you could just go to him and go, "Yeah." You can point it at his eyes and went, "Yeah, you can see what."
it's okay. Yeah, that's it.
And it was just lovely because he looked like your proper old school Welsh miner type person,
Yeah, like a proper bloke's bloke.
like a proper bloke's bloke. But when he was talking about his daughter, it was lovely.
Yeah, and and even to come on camera and do that is quite a brave thing in general, isn't it? So yeah,
Mm.
to show that raw emotion is beautiful. Yeah, I love it.
And it's a nice contrast as well to some of the dickheads because very weirdly, when I was looking today, when BBC Sport posted Jess Fishlot's goal,
Mm.
you had a load of football lads on there going, "Oh, this is the top level of the sport," because of course we know there has never been a scrappy goal scored in men's football ever in a major tournament. And you just look at it and go, at this point, you just look very weird.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, it's a goal, and if you support football and your team score, you don't care how they score. You don't care how that goes over the line. You just care that it does. It's not meant to be beautiful. If it is, brilliant, but it doesn't have to be.
Believe
And
me, the pair of us, Sunderland and Coventry City, we know. Don't care how it is.
yeah, oh, we know about Scrappy.
Damn
But
Ballard, he said, frowning. Still not quite over it.
what a lad, what a lad he is. And yeah, as Alan said there, yeah, we lost, but so proud of the team for what they did, and for large spells they were going toe to toe. Yeah, talked about last night, didn't we? How well they did to overcome all of the odds that were stacked against them in that group of death, to really go for it and make a really good name for themselves, and to show actually Wales are in this, and Wales are going to be back in the next tournament. They're going to qualify, and they're going to keep building. And that's what Jane Ludlow was saying
Mm.
right at the end. If anyone caught the end of the punditry last night, and she said, "You know what? This is the first step. We need to keep building. We need to keep putting money into this because, this is where we've gotten so far. So we need to honour players like Jess and everyone who came before her that have paved the way."
I
To
was reading an amazing piece today. Journalist names, of course, we love a bunch of journalists who write about the game. Megan Feringa is the person who writes about Welsh football a lot. She's a very good journalist. And she wrote a piece today, or possibly yesterday, about the search for the letter that was written to the secretary
Hmm,
of the Football Association of Wales.
saw a post about that. Yeah.
Um, and apparently it was not findable. It wasn't amongst all the papers, the original letter, but there were lots of notes of things after it, like committee meetings, and the article was just all about how it was amazing. In this box in the back end of the National Library of Wales was this box that basically had the history of Welsh football in it and all sorts.
Yeah.
See, Alan, it's interesting that you're already looking forward for the next Euros. Why not the World Cup?
Yeah.
Why can't Wales qualify for the World Cup?
Exactly. They'll be on a high now. They'll be wanting to get right back in there.
Like, because Germany is the next Euros, which means, of course, that Germany won't take up a qualification spot. So it effectively means there's an extra qualification spot because you'd expect Germany to automatically qualify.
I don't think they can do it.
32, Jackie, I believe, in the next Women's World Cup. It's
Yes.
expanded to 32. The men's team is going all the way up to 48, which is bloody ridiculous. They might as well just...
It'll take a year just to get through all the rounds.
45 games a day or whatever.
World Cup. When's the next World Cup? Where are we now? 25? 27? Brazil. Yeah, 32 teams and will be held in Brazil. So there we go. Hey, Chris has got the details there from the 6 confederations, of course. So yeah, 32. We also had the news today that Torben Heath has officially retired. Well, we'd all assumed it for a while, but today she made it official.
I'm just running through now to find out how many qualification places there are from Europe to see how many Wales are getting through, because sometimes you can have two. If anyone ever writes a Wikipedia article, sometimes you can have too much information, and the Women's World Cup article is one of those.
Yeah. Right, key details. Everything you need to know. Right, okay. So it's the 10th edition of the FIFA Women's World Cup. Spain are the reigning champions, of course, but we won't dwell on that. So it's the 24th of June to the 25th of July, 2027. Brazil are going to host. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. 32 nations, confederations. So,
could just click on FIFA Women's World Cup qualification, and it's the second one down. Of course it is.
Yeah, the mobile app's not very friendly.
Europe will have 11 berths at the next World Cup.
There we go.
And the increased berths will be one extra one for Asia. Oceania will get a guaranteed berth, which will probably be Australia, realistically.
Although they were losing to Panama the other day.
Australia?
Yeah, they had 2 friendlies. I think again, someone can fact check me on this. I think they lost the first one. They were losing the second one, but then they came back to win it. But they've got loads of big names missing as well, which is no excuse. But yeah, just saying, might not be as straight cut as Australia might like.
Of course, it will also be the first appearance in qualifying for Gibraltar and Liechtenstein for the next World Cup.
We love Gibraltar and Liechtenstein.
And Chad as well in the African Confederation.
Can I just say what a fantastic name of a country Chad is? All right, Chad? I do. So
apparently they're very broy, Chad. They like walking around. They're all gym bros.
That I can see. I have to say though, so the women's Asian Cup, shot, just goes off the crossbar by Finland. We have restarted, by the way. We are keeping you up to date on Finland 0, Switzerland 0. I'll keep you up to date. So the Women's Asian Cup, all 4 semi-finalists will qualify for the World Cup.
That's a big incentive, isn't it, in the Women's Asian Cup?
Africa Cup of Nations, all 4 semi-finalists qualify. CONCACAF Championship.
Are these the semi-finalists in the 2026 edition of those competitions?
Yes. So again, the 4 semi-finalists of CONCACAF will also qualify. There's also the new CONMEBOL qualifying competition.
South America.
Top 2 teams qualify. And
for anyone not familiar with all the weird federation names.
Yeah, I'm trying to look like OFC, Oceania, right? Oceania. No, yes. Oceania, that's a nightclub.
Oceania.
Winner qualifies in that one. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you, Graham. Lost 1-0 to Panama and then beat them 3-2. Yes, after coming from behind. So there we go.
Panama, of course, Van Halen's favourite international team. That's a very obscure music joke. I apologise for it.
I was going to say, I love the way that we were waiting for it, been like, hang on.
It
People in
seems
the
like
chat will come forth.
someone explain that.
Yeah. And then, of course, to come through the Women's Nations League, therefore, the Group A winners will qualify for that, and then there'll be playoffs as well, just as we did for the Euros. So there we go. So yeah, there's a lot going on, but again, come and join us every Wednesday. We'll read all the small print for you, so you don't have to.
We'll keep you up to date with it. We are your one-stop shop.
We are
Just like Freya's transfer tracker is your one-stop shop for movement during the summer. There you go. See, seamless.
very good indeed. Yeah, so as soon as anything happens, we will, of course, let you know. And at the moment, of course, we do have the Africa Cup of Nations going on because Chris is fantastic and always tells us what's going on. Currently, Tunisia 0, Algeria 0. Full time for that one. And currently 0-0 between Botswana and Nigeria. So there you go.
Graham's like Paul uses obscure jokes as a test. I haven't even begun with the obscure music jokes yet.
These are the popular ones that he's been using.
I was going to say, I'm a metalhead sat here with a Guns N' Roses t-shirt on. If you want me to really get going, we'll get on the night train, Graham. We'll really go for it.
I prefer the Crazy Train, to be honest, but that's what I mean.
All aboard! Sorry. Just obligatory metalhead reference.
Right. Do you remember when I said Villa women should come out to Crazy Train at Villa Park?
Yes.
And it would be so much better. They came out to Crazy Train during the Sub Cup, FA Cup, and they won. And I was like, I just told you. So they need to come out to it at Villa Park.
But it'd scare your average women's football fan, wouldn't it? I get the feeling from women's football Twitter that metal is not the favoured genre of women's football in general.
Then we need to make more.
You can't really imagine.
Let me finish that sentence. That's where my brain's.
You can't really imagine Ella Toon and Leslie Russo just casually in the pre-game warm-up listening to a bit of cattle decapitation, can you? A bit of Thy Art Is Murder. See, there's your obscure deathcore stuff. Meanwhile, Norway are 3-1 up.
Oh, they are indeed.
Norway, of course.
Oh,
home of black metal.
you're on it. Absolutely on it. Let me give you some more details. I'll be there. When it was. No, I can't tell you because one football's not updated.
Oh, nice, David. Thunderstruck's a good effort. Just keep working through it, Dave, like a trooper.
Like a super trooper.
A super trooper. Essentially.
Super trooper.
I don't know about Cannibal Corpse, Chris. I think if people tuned in and suddenly started, I was just casually mentioning Cannibal Corpse song titles like Hammer Smashed Face, I think they'd be wondering what on earth is going on. That is actually a Cannibal Corpse song title, by the way.
Wow.
One of their most famous songs. Once threw somebody into a stone pillar in a mosh pit to that song.
So, Chris, I'm not saying I don't believe you, but both BBC and One Football are still saying it's half time. So, okay, hang on. I'll try something else.
The Swiss now have their own kind of weird version of the Viking clap, like maybe the banker's clap or something. They're just all like.
Well, that sounds like a disease, doesn't it?
That does sound like a disease.
Yeah, it's still saying 2-1 even on Google.
One that costs a fortune to treat.
One that you have to invest in.
Also, it's really easy to wire a plug in Switzerland. You don't have to worry about the 3 different wires because they're neutral.
Very good.
Sorry, everybody. You can tell the game isn't brilliant that we're getting bad comedy jokes in like this.
Chris's app says 3-1. What app are you using, Chris? I clearly need this magic app. I've done three different ones.
You can only see it at 88 miles an hour, obviously. Like, it's one of those.
On death, yeah. Yeah, I have to say, I used to work at the academy in Birmingham, and I saw so many bands that I didn't have any clue who they were. So then now when people go, "Oh, do you like this band?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I work that gig," and then they get really
They go,
excited.
"You what?"
Like, I can't remember. Can't remember any examples now.
Of course, David, Napalm Death famously produced the shortest single in Guinness Book of Records. It is "You Suffer," which is half a second.
There we go.
Officially
Okay, live
measured.
score says 3-1. iPlayer says 3-1. Okay, there might have just been a complete lag throughout the interwebs. So I do believe you all. Thank you very much.
Did we confirm who scored? I don't think we confirmed who scored for North. Yes, we did. Mornham.
Oh, was it morning?
It was further up.
Live score.
This is the award-winning level of coverage you get. We're all sat there. Are we sure it's 3-1? Did we confirm who scored? You know.
I just say 3-1. Yeah, you're right.
This is the kind of thing you'd ever get on final score. Imagine final score. And now the classified football results: Manchester United 3, Manchester City 2. We think. Let's double check. Yes, definitely Manchester City. Yeah, just all the way through each one. Will you hush?
Okay, so according to live score, then Mornham scored, and then Gobset has turned provider. There we go. I
wonder if Danny backed himself up and put Gorpset in his fantasy football team, because if he did, he's probably done very well indeed.
Yeah. I can officially bring you breaking news from the Love Island villa.
Giorgio's out.
He's been dumped from the villa. Chloe Bear has just sent a message. So for everyone saying who's going to last longer, girl Russo or boy Russo?
It is, in fact, girl Russo.
Yeah. There we go.
Giorgio will be in the crowd. Giorgio will be on the ITV coverage now, won't he? He'll be a bloody studio pundit.
Yeah.
Half time, Sam Matterface asking him about his time in the villa as co-commentator
And how it compares to
and
match.
how it compares.
Yeah.
Dilly Flaherty there going, I stayed in a villa once when we went to the south of France.
When I was playing for West Ham. I like, which band do I like? Ailstorm. The one where everything's about pirates. Yeah.
Ailstorm did an amazing version of In the Navy.
I worked that gig. I worked is it Ghost as well, where he dresses like a bishop?
Yes.
Yep, worked them.
I know a lot of people who would be very jealous of you.
I just remember coming out on stage because when you're working on your rota, it just says like gig, might tell you the name, just come in for this time. So when it came out on stage in like full mask, full everything, we all went, sorry? What is this? So that was lots of fun. Should I cash out on Switzerland? Well, we're not giving any gambling advice. However, if it's letting you cash out for more than you put in, always yes. Because you never know. You just need one opportunity for that score to change.
Always be profiting.
Always take a profit, no matter how small it is. There we go. Oh, Slovenius out. Francie in. Francie, who I believe we talked about her going to London City, didn't we, the other night?
She did, of course. That means that Finland now have an all London City Lionesses strike force, because Linda Shellstrom was also a London City player at one point.
I see a pattern emerging.
Ex-Arsenal and a pattern, of course. Sorry, I was just following etiquette.
Yeah.
You know. Now the Swiss are starting to get into their rhythm a little.
Here we go.
There's some good progress being made, and the Finns are just starting to look a little bit nervous.
Yeah. You can see the fans as well, just kind of like all tense, like they've settled into it. Like, come on, something happened, do something.
Well played by Natalia Quicker.
Quicker, fantastic name for a football player.
Indeed.
Very well worked by Reuteler there.
Made a film about her working in a funeral parlour, starring Sharon Stone, The Quicker the Dead. There you go. That was actually one very good film. Actually, got Gene Hackman in full scenery chewing villain mode.
So I'll take you.
Rest in peace, of course. Gene Hackman passed away recently.
Oh, that was lovely ball in from Benair there, but just couldn't find anyone in the box.
This is a weird thing recently in the women's game that has started to come in. The goal is take goal kicks by passing it to a defender who then launches it.
Yeah, I don't quite know how I feel about that.
We've ranted on the podcast before, often, about passing out from the back and just bloody get it long.
Yeah, get it away from your goal. What are you doing?
Don't they teach midfielders to head anymore? Lift it up into the middle and do it properly.
While we're talking about goalkeepers, we just need another minute for Hannah Hampton's distribution. During that match, it was beautiful, especially the long ball that led to the goal, straight to the feet of Russo. It was beautiful.
She can't properly ping a pass, can Hannah Hampton?
She can.
Frustrated midfielder. It probably doesn't happen, but I'd love the idea of Hannah Hampton and Kira Walsh just having passing competitions. Like just setting up like 50p pieces and trying to land a ball on them.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they were on opposition teams as well, couldn't you? The devastation they could do. The amount of red shirts, the support, and I know they are in Switzerland, so it seems a silly thing to say, but like the turnout is incredible, isn't it?
The Swiss have really got behind their women, haven't they? They've really embraced the tournament, and that's why part of you wants Switzerland to go through, because the longer a host team are in the tournament, the better.
Yes, yeah, because you feel like that momentum, and the fans in the stadium will stay with them for a bit longer. So yeah, I really, really do want them to come through.
And of course, potential Switzerland v Spain quarter-final as well.
Yes.
35,000 Swiss. I mean, obviously the Spanish have faced away and hostile crowds before, but if you're looking for the potential of a Swiss shock and playing in Bâle or Zurich or Bern with 30,000 yelling Swiss.
Yeah. The feeling of it would be incredible. So just a little update then, because we are 61 and a half-ish minutes in, and both teams kicked off at 8 o'clock. It is still Norway and Switzerland to go through as top of the group, as Norway are officially now leading 3.
And have pretty much already qualified. It would have taken something very, very...
And had pretty much already qualified anyway. So it was only Switzerland really that was going to swing it. However, still 30 minutes to play for. See if Finland can do anything. However, again, if Finland do win, let's get the maths right. Then they'll both be on 3. Yeah, Finland would go through.
So now it only remains to say which one of the Swiss will play a key role.
Will they be as jammy as Norway, or will they be as smooth as... Oh, shots that really had to be...
I think it was Leah Volti then with the naughtiest of Cruyff turns as the last player under pressure from a finish forward, just pulls a Cruyff turn to make herself some space.
Leah Volti doesn't get... I think because this season she was out with injury for a little bit, wasn't she? So I think a lot of people who maybe had new eyes on the WSL. Underestimate Leah Valti. What a player when she's
I mean,
firing.
when she's on, her and Kim Little as a pair in that Arsenal midfield
Oh,
are just
yeah, beautiful.
sumptuous to watch.
Yeah,
They just play so well together, just kind of sitting in midfield, spraying the ball around.
yeah, doing what they do best. But yeah, it's brilliant to watch.
No, the only way you make a Swiss roll is you push them down a hill.
Watch the challengers start flying now as all the Swiss roll over.
There we go.
Very good.
Oh, we do like a pun like that. It's like, how'd you get Pikachu on a bus? Pokemon.
See, it's ones like that shouldn't make me laugh. That, yeah, tickle me.
Voitila is very, very useful as well. I think I
Yeah.
would be surprised if Voitila doesn't have interest from WSL clubs after this tournament as Imam Bene. Was it Imam Bene? No, it was Vandela who just put one over the bar.
So to Reutler, I mean, obviously I love her at Villa, but I can see her at Liverpool, like that type of club.
Of course, they could have a Central European German-speaking but not German midfield because they could have Voitila with Herbinger.
Yeah.
That'd be a very cultured midfield indeed. Oh, we can but dream.
Further behind you. I've just seen that shot over the bar.
How, which, what?
Is it because of one iPlayer? I'm going to go back to live telly. Right, hang on. Hang on. Do you want to exit? Yes. Right. Jump forward in time. Do we think Peng looks like Jessie Fleming? Just putting it out to the group.
You're asking someone who might as well be face blind. So my facial recognition.
Do you think Peng looks like Jessie Fleming? Because I really do.
Leah Valti is in a
Oh,
little bit.
no. Just praising her. Now, unfortunately, the ice pack's got to have come out.
It's good if they're sitting up and the ice pack's coming out and they're taking a drink, and we know it's just a slight nudge on the knee rather than.
Yeah, rather than anything else.
It does look like a drinks break as well, anyway, because all the players are over towards the sidelines.
Yes, there we go. So hopefully, just a little something like an ice pack.
Just a little.
Oh, just a bit of a clash, bit of a knock.
That's a naughty little shove in the back, by the way.
Oh,
Leah Valti off the ball there, just getting a bit of a dig in the back.
yeah.
In a, I'm sure, accidental collision.
Allegedly.
There you go. There's your action gif.
There's Noel Moritz, former Arsenal defender.
Of course. Doesn't matter who she plays for now. She has at some point played for Arsenal.
No.
Future Arsenal defenders somewhere. Livia Peng, future Chelsea goalie.
Yes.
Finns now getting in each other's way a little bit, which could cost them.
It could indeed.
This game is going to get only going to get more and more tense, I think, because we're moving towards the final 20 minutes, and one goal either way has massive implications.
Yes, and I would just like to sum up. How Rosie has just messaged our chat. Our lovely Rosie. Switzerland are doing my head in. They've got the better chances, but can't finish them. We're watching in an Irish bar in Zurich, and everyone's getting very frustrated. Imagine in an Irish bar in Zurich. Yes.
Oh, Danny. I don't know why I started singing Danny Boy for no discernible reason.
Because everyone just started standing up and you're like, yeah, Danny Boy works. Oh, curly ball in. Can anyone do anything with it?
Ooh, that was Koivunen just did a proper
Or if they just
over.
got in front of the goalie. If they just done the right thing, it would have gone.
If they just made the ball go into the goal, they'd have scored.
And say, Alan saying, "Can someone pass me a pillow?" That can be taken two ways. Do you want to go to sleep or something a bit more sinister? But if
That
it's
was dark for you. That was one. That's normally one of my jokes. That was very dark.
It's after 9 o'clock, it's fine. Or as Graham Marley puts it, piles. Much better. But yeah, we need some action, don't we? We need some chaos in this match. Otherwise, 0-0, just what does that say about the end? Because it will be the end to Finland's campaign if they don't do something quick. However, if we look at the subs, it looks like number 20, Pilgrim, of course, who we saw do very well the other evening.
And score, in fact.
And score, yes. So Switzerland know what they're doing. And they're bringing off number 22. Is that Shirton?
It is Sydney Shirton-Leave.
Sydney Shirton-Leave. Youngster at Barcelona, of course. So if you do want to follow her, that's where she be next season.
You do enjoy proper flowing hair in both the men's and the women's game. Elia Pilgrim has your proper streaming long hair out behind her.
Yeah. I don't know how some Portugal players play with their hair down. I can't imagine.
Because they proper fly, don't they?
Yeah, so it keeps it up at all times.
Also, Emma Koivisto has a very intense look in her eye. She just took a throw in and it was like...
Yeah, as if it was like a laser pointer, like, you will go there. You will get this pass.
One of the things where you look and go, Emma Koivisto has seen some things. Like...
She knows what she's doing. She's playing.
She knows what she's doing. We don't know. We weren't there. And I know we do this every Switzerland game, but Switzerland's number 9, it's Chornogevich.
Cernogorcevic.
Oh, I was close enough for FA player work, wasn't I?
Which is being retired, RIP FA player. So Letola is coming
Jutta
on.
Vantola. Here we go.
Vantola, there we go. Solstrom coming off.
Podcast favourite, Jutta Vantola.
Yes. Just happy she's fit again. Raring to go. Leicester really missed her last season when she was out.
8 goals in her previous season.
Yeah. Massive impact for them. So yeah, glad to see her back. I do like that the Finnish manager, for all we've said, his white shirt had like the decoration around the inside of his cuff. So
he
they
had
were
the full shirt
in the wind because he's up. Yep. Very good. Bit of money.
Oh, that is a huge chance.
Oh, that was so close.
That was a great cross from Vanderlet, and I don't think the player on the other end realised how much time she had, because you've watched the replay. She's absolutely herring forward. She's got the freedom of Geneva.
Yeah, the freedom of Geneva. Yeah, she's got so much time, so much space. So Benet crossing that ball in there, and Velotta just can't. Just gets the timing a little bit wrong, but it looks like if anything's coming, it's going to be coming for the Swiss, doesn't it? Rather than Finners.
I shall race back in a second.
Yeah, go for it. Okay. Yes, much better player from Switzerland. you can see Finland thinking, what is it going to take for us to get something in this match? And here we go. Ball.
There it is.
There we go. Yeah. So the 73rd minute, just under 20 minutes of regular time to go.
Oh, feel the tension.
As Graham said earlier, more tense than a campsite. Yeah, much better play from Switzerland now. They've really, really settled into this. Oh, apart from Pilgrim slips, but they're able to win the ball back.
Oh, you can feel the tension. It's like it's the same type of tension when you ask a Swiss banker where all that gold in his vaults came from.
It was from Gold Member. Do you not know?
Yes. Those antique paintings, yes, they've been there a while. They're family heirlooms, honest.
I can say all I can think about now is "Allo, allo," with the Madonna with the big boobies.
Oh, nice.
If anyone has not watched
Gordon
Allo,
Kay
Allo,
was from near here, apparently. The main actor in Allo Allo. Gordon Kay was from near here, apparently.
was it?
Apparently so.
Oh,
I remember reading somewhere.
there's still 3 of the actors is still doing a tour of their podcast, the Allo Allo podcast, which is incredible.
I mean, that fair play to him.
Yeah. I shall say this very carefully.
Listen carefully. I shall say this.
It's only what's damn it, got it wrong way around.
That should have been our off-season podcast, shouldn't it? Just classic comedy with Paul and Freya. Just each sitcom gets a different episode. Allo Allo, Last of the Summer Wine,
Keeping up appearances.
Keeping Up Appearances.
Upstairs, downstairs. Bloody loved upstairs, downstairs.
Are You Being Served? Oh, it is a penalty to Finland. Here we go.
Is it? Pointing straight to the spot. Stephanie Frappa having none of that. Straight penalty shout. And who's down? They look like they're in lots of pain. Not good. Not good for Finland.
That was one of those reactions where, as soon as you see it, you go, oh, that's a biggie. The first one was questionable.
Yeah, because there was the initial collision.
And then there's probably 3 penalties there because it's McCoy Visto who gets tripped.
What even happens?
It breaks out and Corvisto just has her legs kicked from under her.
Oh, yeah, the way she falls. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, that's a clear penalty. Sorry, Switzerland, that's a clear penalty. Caligaris has put her leg out there and had a kick at the ball, completely missed her.
Oh, I felt for Corvisto. Oh.
A penners for Finners.
Penners for Finners.
Penners for Finners. Now the question, of course. Shellstrom would possibly normally take this. She's gone off. I wonder if this will be Suminen or Rantala. I'm thinking.
Who's going to step up? Ooh, Norway 4-1. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Huge moment for the Boreal Owls. It's Natalia Quicker's in my fantasy team. If she scores this, big points.
Oh, very good for you.
Come on, Natalia. Not that I'm easily bought or anything, but
those Finnish shirts are lovely, aren't they?
They are gorgeous. Just
might have to get one.
It's one of those where it's like you wonder sometimes about the whole putting your flag as the shirt, because some flags are a bit questionable, but those GB Olympic shirts, for example, but that Finland shirt's gorgeous. And Quika puts one straight down the middle.
Oh, and it's in. And
Suddenly,
it's the
have a game
points
turned on its head.
The team. Marnham scoring again for Norway. And we do. Finland have gone above Switzerland. And they will be going through. Ooh. Right, game on. 12 minutes. 12 minutes of regular time left.
That is a perfect penalty.
Straight down the middle. Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
I have always wondered football theory because you imagine most of the time goalies' approach to penalties are basically pick a side and dive.
Yeah.
So you do wonder why there aren't more down the middle.
Yeah, because hardly anyone stays in the middle and expects it in the middle, do they?
Natalia Quick of a centre back, of course, as well.
Even more impressive. Yeah.
So not the player on that Finnish team I would have expected to take the penalty. Certainly, Rantala or Sumanen ahead of her. I think does Evelina? No, Evelina Sumanen doesn't take penalties for Spurs because Beth England does.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's favourite clickbait. Alicia Lehmann is coming on.
Why?
Watch that be the headline now. Watch that be the headline. Nothing else apart from this match. But that'll be it.
Tears from Alicia Lehmann as her Switzerland go out of the Euros.
Only playing 10 minutes in this tournament.
47 pictures of her.
Yeah, she has been out for a long time with injury. So, let's see. So yeah, just come up on the screen there. Norway qualifying, and so are Finland. Right, number 7 also coming on, who is Jamali.
Granit Jamali.
Jamali. There we go.
Jamali.
You never know with an AI, do you? Whether it's an A or an E or a Jamali.
Football Barbie in the centre of midfield. See, again, and I know Alicia Lehmann is. You can tell she's always aware of her brand, even when she's playing international football, because.
Yeah. She's been like that for ages, though, in her makeup and her hair and stuff. And I will say, in her defense, when she turned up, she was very, very good. However, near the end of her time at Villa, it got to the point where it wasn't working, and clearly, focus was elsewhere. But she can do it, and that's the frustrating thing about her. When she's on it, she is a very, very good player.
Crowdsourcing an opinion. Should I search Alicia Lehmann's name on Twitter now and see if there are all the 400 lads going, oh, I'll watch the game now. Just turn BBC One on or whatever.
I don't even want to imagine the comments. I really, really don't. So Chris's comment on that.
I mean, it does fascinate me because part of you would think that it would be an amazing motivation for the player if everyone says, "Oh, Alicia Lehmann is basically just a pretty face," and part of her would want to, spur her to much greater heights. But she does. She appears. One might argue she appears to have decided, right? Okay, this is how I'm going to make my money, and fair play to her.
Oh yeah, because if you think about it, the money in women's football is awful. So if you're going to make it other ways with other sponsorships and things like that, then fair play. You go do it. Sell your calendars, which were very popular right here.
She does strike me as someone who's very self-aware of Alicia Lehmann.
I think being in a relationship with Douglas Luiz as well, and that entire profile kind of made it quite clear that she did have a lot of spotlight on her.
Wasn't there a ridiculous stat like when she signed for Juventus, their social media following on Instagram got
Yes.
like 10,000 more followers or something stupid?
Oh, it was more than that. I think the like 100,000. It was mental. Yeah, I can't remember the stats. I have to try and find them. But yeah, as soon as she signed, all of the social media. I mean, from a PR perspective, lean into it. If it's going to get more people through the door, then do it. Especially in Italy, where women's football still needs the attention. But yeah, the amount of PR surrounding her when she signed was awful.
And it's one of those subjects that's always tricky to talk about, isn't it? Because it's very easy to be accused of misogyny or whatever else, and then it's like, well, a lot of it is we want players to be appreciated for their skills on the pitch rather than just here's the girl that everyone fancies playing for Switzerland and let's all watch the match because,
Mm. I think I think that's when I started following Moro, the Italian journalist.
I know what you're doing. Stop trying to score points. You're not playing. You don't need to score points.
part of me is now hoping Alicia Lehman scores because
I really hope so. I really do. There we go.
and as I say that, slight miss kick from Anna Koivunen, but she gets very, very lucky with that ricochet. You'll just catch up and see it. It's Lehman chasing it down, and Koivunen just fires it straight up in the air.
Okay, I found the stats. You ready?
Far away.
As soon as Lehman signed for Instagram, they, on the day of the announcement,
Sign for Juventus, you mean?
what did I say?
You said sign from Instagram, which...
Oh, signed, and then this is on Instagram. I think I just merged it into one. So the Juventus account got 20,000 new followers in one day, and the engagement rate went from 6% to 26%.
Ooh.
The posts dedicated to her are those with the most interactions in the history of the account.
You'd expect that.
Yeah.
But that is insane.
Yeah. But that's her,
the power that she has as an influencer.
And even, when clubs do, welcoming our new signing, like with the images of them around the ground and stuff, so for the others that were having medicals and stuff, there were like a couple of journalists there, maybe outside, like watching them walk in, maybe one or two people. For hers, both sides had been cordoned off and fans were lining up with things for her to sign and to take pictures, and it was like a proper like mass media event. And then the other players who were also doing their medicals that day, no one batted an eye, no one stopped them, no nothing. It was all just for her.
Is it fair to say that she's
a brand
in terms of profile of transcending the sport? She is the Ronaldo, if you like, of the women's game, in the sense that if she does anything, it gets a ridiculous amount of interaction from people.
Yeah, for her brand, absolutely. Chris is in there. Goal Iceland, so it's now 4-2 to Norway. See, where's this Iceland been the whole tournament? Challengers coming thick and fast now as we enter the 88th minute.
Of course, if Switzerland score, Switzerland don't need to win. They just need a goal to go through.
Yes, they just need the
one
point.
moment.
Yeah. So every second counts for this.
Stop that.
I, of course, am distracted by constantly returning a cat to where she should be. And she's decided she's going to come and sit on me.
Crossing, can anyone get under it? Oh,
You get the feeling there's one more moment of drama in this game, whether it be a save or whether it be a chance for Switzerland. You know, the old football cliche. There's always one more.
I really, really hope so. Um,
Just that one moment where the ball will drop to a Swiss player in the box.
yeah. And they've got the make or break moment. Everyone's on their feet, though. That's what I love in the stands. No one's sitting down.
But you do get the feeling, even if now Finland go through, you get the feeling that the Swiss women have made an impact in
Yes.
the same way the Lionesses did in their home tournament. This is their big, or maybe not their big breakthrough moment, but certainly their stepping out onto the stage, if you like.
Yes. And a moment where all eyes are on Switzerland and what they can do and what they can prove. And, this group would have been seen as doable. Oh, Serna Gocevic, if she's just got that angle right, maybe that can win it.
And this is also where you perhaps finally bemoan the loss of Ramona Bachmann, because if Ramona Bachmann is up front for Switzerland as well.
Well, that's like 7 minutes. 7 minutes of added time in the game. But yeah, Bachmann is a huge loss, isn't she? Out at the moment. Because that happened relatively recently as well, didn't it? So
just before the tournament, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not as if she could have ever been back in contention because it happened just before.
That 7 minutes is going to feel like 7 years for Finland.
Yeah. Go on, Alicia. Go on. What can you do? Oh, if that had gone in.
Did that shot look slow to you?
Yes, it did.
Like it was one of those where you really want someone to just put their foot through it, and then it just kind of floats into the goalie's hands, and you're like, that's a bit of a letdown. But they come forward, the Swiss. I get the feeling all the play will be in front of that goal, away to the right. The Finns will just hoof it down the field as far as we can and wait for the Swiss to come back at us.
Yeah, and try and keep it away from any danger.
At 8 o'clock, I was like, if this game's done and dusted, I'll leave for ice hockey round about the normal time. I can't leave now, can I? Really can't.
What time do you normally leave?
About now.
I was going to say, you can go if you want.
No. They've only gone and done it.
Oh, was it? Yes!
Granit Jamali has only gone and made herself a heroine.
The substitute. There we go. Running into the crowd. Why aren't people hugging her? Like, go hug.
Because they couldn't get near her. She just set off. Like.
No, I mean the fans. You'd expect more to try to swarm around her. Oh, the Finnish boss is fuming. And there we go. It is 1-1.
I was going to say the Swiss won't, because the Swiss are incredibly well behaved. So.
Oh, that's true. Actually, yeah.
You get the feeling if that had been some of the nations, it would have been even more absolute chaos.
Yeah, they probably would have run onto the pitch.
if that had been England, there would have been absolute chaos.
Well, let's watch it again. So
she's onside, way onside.
Rotela onside. Yeah, no, where is that? And there we go.
I'm trying to work out, is that a shot from Rotela, or is that?
No, I think that's a cross. But regardless, whatever it was, there we go. And we said there'd be one more moment, and there it is.
That is a gorgeous pass from Rotela.
Beautiful.
Kevin's reminded me, as someone who loves assists, what did you think of that? I was like,
that was beautiful. Oh, Finland try the counter, however, collected quite comfortably.
And of course, if you're Caligaris as well, who gave away the penalty, the relief that you must be
Yes.
potentially feeling at this
Yeah,
moment.
there's 4 more minutes of this now.
Yeah, because if that was the moment that saw your team out. Ah.
Do we think there's another twist? There's still 4 more minutes.
In this game, anything's possible. Oh, running the
Lehman's
back.
through. Oh,
She's free, which is madly offside. Oh.
She was level, but her eyelashes are in Zurich.
I was going to say, but she's got the right ideas, but just sometimes that position was awful. The one that really stands out was in her final season at Villa. Was it a final season? I don't know. Almost didn't want to. We played against Chelsea, and it was at the Bescot. And so it would have been the season before. And she was against, I think she was against Niamh Charles, and just wasn't marking her. Couldn't get near her, wasn't attempting to get near her, to the point where we were all shouting at her, like, Mark Niamh.
Yeah.
And Niamh was laughing because she could hear us. And just wasn't interested in staying on our players. So yeah, we're all like,
And now we have clips of lots of Swiss players doing the whole pointing at their heads and sticking. Oh, look at the Swiss fans though; they are properly.
Yeah, they're ready for this. A minute and a half. Can they keep it, or can Finners do something? Peng is there. That was a very, very brave save with the speed that I couldn't see who it was.
She's absolutely thrown herself at that.
Oh,
That's full on.
That's a proper goalkeeper save, that one.
That's full on death or glory. I'm getting to this, or I'm getting kicked in the face style save, isn't it?
Yeah, and even if I do get kicked in the face, so what?
I'm holding it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are ticking it into the final minute of possibly, at the moment, Finland's Euros.
Oh, the scrappy tackles are coming in.
Finland, if that's a Finnish free kick, then they can hump that one forward into the box. I believe it is a Finnish free kick.
Oh.
Are we in goalie going up territory, do you think? 30 seconds remaining, a free kick just there. Yep. There she goes.
There she goes. Can't miss her.
They really care, the Swiss fans, as well. It's lovely.
Yes. And the fact that they've said, for a long time that the leagues and the fans and everything else just aren't really getting behind it, and the support is getting there. It's growing, but only so slightly. The fact that so many fans have turned out for this is incredible.
We are now into added time.
Yes.
So
we've passed the 7-minute mark. As soon as this ball goes back into play, will Stephanie Frappard blow the whistle?
Oh, no, because another minute has been added. There's now 8 minutes of injury time.
I've never seen them add it on the actual thing before. I'll just change our minds to 8.
This is definitely Finnish throwing back to the goalie, launch it.
Oh, Lehman a goal for Iceland. Norway 4, Iceland 3. Woohoo!
The dead rubber providing one of the games of the tournament, but I am still glad we stuck with this one, because obviously this one means far more.
Yes, because of course, even if Iceland do win, Norway still go through because they've got, they will still have 6 points better than Switzerland and Finland's 4.
The Swiss are through.
And there it is, the
host nation.
Whistle. And they can't believe it. The reaction, the fans, everyone's going mad. And you know what? Just for Pia Sundhage, she looks so incredibly happy that her team have managed to do it. And everyone,
I think there were tears there from Pia Sundhage.
Yeah.
There were definite.
Like, everyone looks like, I know everyone's happy to qualify in a major tournament, but everyone looks so genuinely happy. and it's just so heartwarming to see everyone all around Jamali. Jamali.
Jamali. And of course, you have sad Finns and Finns in tears, which
Oh, not
is the
sad
sad
Finnish.
side of things. But
And it's just close. Um, no, David. Iceland were out after match day 3. Unfortunately, they can't get anything. So just to confirm, then it is Norway and Switzerland who have made it through. Finland had the same number of points as Switzerland, but Switzerland go through on goal difference. Okay, so as we can see there on the screen, if you're watching it still on the telly, and of course I can show us now as well, just as a little final thing before we go. We have official confirmation there that Norway and Switzerland have progressed to the quarter-finals. So there we go. So efforts from Finland, just a bit too little too late. And Iceland, of course, trying to get a comeback in their final game as well. So, Paul, I know you've got to shoot off. However, Switzerland through to the quarters in hosting this tournament, that's a pretty good result for them, isn't it? Paul is on mute.
sorry, I don't know why I was back on mute. I don't think I put myself on mute.
That's okay.
How long have I been on mute for?
I don't know.
Hopefully, only
hear
from the last bit
anything.
I attempt to talk, because there was nothing in the chat going, we can't hear you, Paul. So
Oh,
hopefully.
yeah. Just from the last bit, I didn't hear you. But yeah, massive for Switzerland, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge. And of course, they have Spain, most likely, in the quarterfinals. So hosts versus world champions and favourites.
Yeah, so now we can confirm the run. So Norway have the runner-up in Group B, which we think will be. I was going to say Switzerland, no, Italy, and then of course the runner-up in A is going to face the winner of B, which is probably 99% going to be Spain. Yes, yes, indeed. So Switzerland, Spain is going to be one quarter-final, with Norway, probably Italy, being one of the others. So there we go. Perfect. Right. Well, thank you so much to everyone for joining us tonight and listening and getting involved. We love it when you do get involved in the chat. We will be back tomorrow as well. More matches. So it's Group B tomorrow night. And again,
Spain versus Italy is the one we're looking on. Presumably.
Yes, Spain, Italy, and of course Belgium, Portugal as well. So when it comes down to it, we've got 2 more matches to decide. And remember, from here on in, all of match day 3 fixtures will be shown both at 8 o'clock, so no more 5 o'clock matches until the final. So there we go. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Again, keep an eye out on all socials, on the Absolute Football podcast, and on the whole 115 yards as well. But we will be here.
Of course, one last joyous thing that has been pointed out in our group chat.
Yes.
All the pre-tournament media of lol, the Swiss got beaten by under-15 boys teams. They're in the quarterfinals at their own tournament now, so that's a lovely.
Exactly.
Doesn't seem as much of a story now, does it? Somehow.
No, funny that. So yes, the Swiss are through to the quarterfinals in their home tournament. There we go. Now, yes, thank you once again for joining us, and we will leave it there for you to have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. So thank you, and see you soon.